Today is Valentine's Day. If you're married or dating someone, today is a test. If you're single, count your blessings. But if you are involved with someone, avoid the following. Do not go to the party you are invited to. A friend you haven't seen in several years is playing piano. You'll be seeing him later after your other half sends your mind spiraling. You'll be on a walk because she threw you out after she found out that you got her Seas candy, Nakadiva, and no, you did not go to Jared. You'll meet your friend at the club he's playing at. He will receive a phone call and be given an address and a password. You'll ask to join him. He'll say no. But you're not going to listen because you prefer C's. And plus, Jared is really overrated. You're going to go out of your way to get a costume, then arrive at the party in a cab and have the shocker of your life. The mob is having an orgy. You'll be found out, but let go. The rest is some Mission Impossible shit that ends with your friend telling you he was at that party. You won't want to believe it, but yes, it's true. The point is, unless your girl is Nicole Kidman and your friend is Sydney Pollack, just buy a box of Godiva, hell, make it 2, throw in some carnations for, good measure, and avoid the whole thing. You'll be much, much better off. Eyes Wide Shut. I may not be able to relate personally, but the unknown can be quite appealing. The story follows Dr. William and Mrs. Alice Harford. At a Christmas party hosted by one of William's patients, Victor Ziegler, they interact with attractive party guests. Later, at home, they have an argument about infidelity. When William gets called away, he is possessed by thoughts of his wife with another man. A chance encounter with an old school friend leads to William crashing a sex party. He's followed the next day, but finds solace in his friend Victor. When he gets home, he is a man with a guilty conscience. Movies, no matter what genre or topic, are always examining relationships. It doesn't matter if it is between a man and a computer, or a delinquent and society. Relationships are what drive us, scare us, and make us question the biggest and most minute details of our lives. Stanley Kubrick had a very special relationship with his movies. They were his way of showing us how he looked at the world. How bizarre, violent, sexual, and helpless the world can be. I think what Kubrick was best at was making people aware of what's out there. What kinds of relationships exist in every open field and private room. In this movie, he took a real-life couple at the time and explored marriage and the curiosity that can plague either lover. Curiosity is a funny thing. It likes to take its time. It's not so much procrastination as it is testing the waters. As a filmmaker, Kubrick never tested the waters. He told you if it was hot or cold, and then you went with it or not. The first time I saw this, I was alone in my room at night, and I was nervous. Upon reflection, it is one of my favorite experiences watching a movie. No one told me to watch it. I was able to discover it for myself, and that's a very different kind of viewing versus one where a friend or parent sits you down and says, "Watch this." That initial viewing, I was polarized, and by the end, I knew 2 things. I loved it, and I had no idea what to make of it. And there's a beauty to not knowing why you like something. Usually it's easy to pinpoint one element, like a theme, but with this movie, I was always unable to predict where the story was going. The whole journey feels like one man going where he doesn't know he doesn't belong, and that invites trouble. Tom Cruise is no stranger to trouble. We all know him from Mission Impossible, a fearless man of action, always taking risks. Tom Cruise as William Harford is a fearful but friendly man. Nicole Kidman as Alice Harford is vulnerable but strong. Their dynamic has a very similar fragrance to the couple in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. They poison each other emotionally, a very common action in dramas like American Beauty, The Tree of Life, Kramer vs. Kramer, The Wolf of Wall Street. Every drama has a different energy, and depending on the actor and the chosen direction, the escalation can come off theatrical.
You didn't research the whole thing and deal with the fucking golf course people!
Oh my god, you had to deal with the golf course people too!
The scenes between Cruise and Kidman emit a low energy, but they feel realistic. The two are stripped of their blockbuster personas. It's like being given access to movie stars in therapy. And with Kubrick as their therapist, every actor in this movie shows off a different color of the human spirit. Sidney Pollack, my favorite part of the journey, is the silent guardian. Pollack has this thing. I saw it in Tootsie. It's great. It's this desire to want to make people aware of how they are affecting other people. In relation as the filmmaker, Kubrick was aware of his effect, but he never let that determine his approach to material. He always offered the kind of mystery and suspense he thought movie fans live for, and as I've observed over the years, there are a few ways to build and sustain suspense. Like framing, shot choice, faulty devices, lighting,
You can call me Joker.
a lack of sound, the use of natural sound, a dolly move, staging, editing, a life-threatening stunt, slow motion, the big picture, or a single line of dialogue.
You killed the car.
One method used by Kubrick in this movie is the score. Few film scores have this kind of reputation, and it begs the question, how present should the score be? One theory is that it should melt with the images and disappear. My favorite theory comes from Hans Zimmer. The score should invite the viewer into the world of the story. Bingo! William is in a world of terror. We are invited to share in his terror. Helping accomplish that is lighting cameraman Larry Smith, more recently responsible for Only God Forgives. Wider lenses were chosen to help show off the production design. In every scene we see bold rainbow colors: red, blue, white, purple, green. Smith and Kubrick made these colors and all the lights in every scene appear a lot brighter than they were on set by employing forced development. The result is a look wholly unique to Eyes Wide Shut. It complements the unique narrative. My favorite scene is the tell-all between William and Victor. I love the blunt and direct writing and the underplayed reactions. My favorite shot is right here. William puts on the mask, confident that nobody will think twice. He's being ignorant, but admirable. He may as well not have it on at all. My obsession with superheroes allows me to associate masks with heroes. But in this movie, there's no hero out to achieve a goal. There's no girl to save, no villain to defeat, and the main character doesn't necessarily want anything. He just wanders. This is where my single note for possible improvement comes in. Pace. The story is always at a walking pace, and sometimes I think it would be a bit more appropriate if it had more of a bounce in its step, more energy. There's an interesting juxtaposition of energy at the party when William is walking with the two girls and Alice is dancing with Sandor. William's conversation has a solid pulse. Alice's is more sedated. Most of the movie boasts a similar energy to Alice's conversation. So, depending on the kind of energy that you are personally attracted to, you might find yourself really, really bored. I, for one, am not. Happy Valentine's Day, officially. Be well.